This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, Mr. Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 12th of September. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, we had a really interesting day yesterday. I was right. We did fail at the month pivot and week to pivot, which is my lean, and we came back and we almost retested the low. We got very close to a retest the low on SPX, and then we had this amazing run up, which broke all the existing resistance that we were looking at yesterday morning. Now I've got a theory about that, and I was talking about that in the bigger picture webinar last night, which I'm not sure you'll have seen, but I posted one last night, so it's there, but I'll talk about it again today. NQ, we broke down, didn't retest the low, and then got back over the monthly pivot and the weekly pivot. Basically, we've opened up the daily middle bands as the next move. RTY has been the weakest and barely made it off the ground, reaching a possible inverted head and shoulder neckline here, and I am thinking that we may well see a decline first today, so we could form a right shoulder. Ideal right shoulder would be down here at about the 2082 area, but to be honest, a perfectly acceptable right shoulder could be done with a move a lot lower than that. Sorry, a lot less than that. I wouldn't need to go as far. In terms of Dow, I put a possible. It could be an inverted head and shoulder neckline, but it'd make a perfectly acceptable double bottom resistance, and we've come up and tested that overnight. No negative divergence on any of these. DAX, I have marked in a double bottom, which we're breaking up from, only just making it over the weekly pivot. This has been weaker. ESTX, making it over the weekly pivot and monthly pivot, still could be a flag, but looking at the rest of the indices, I am doubtful about it being a flag. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Right, ES. The big news was that the rally yesterday killed off any chance that we were going to get a possible RSI 5 buy signal brewing. We have made it back to the test of the daily middle band, and that is the big test today. We made it back to the daily middle band on SPX yesterday. Looking at the hourly chart, no current divergence. Nothing really. We've got back over the 50 DMA, which is a key level which we were stalling at yesterday, but we're back over it today. So I mean, we've basically cleared the path for the test of the daily middle band today, and we'll see how it goes. On SPX, I've drawn this because it certainly isn't a flag, I don't think. I've drawn this as a potential double bottom breaking up. We could have inverted head and shoulder neckline here. Certainly, we've got some resistance here. But I think it's a bit too big to be an IHS neckline. I'm really inclined to go with the double bottom. You can see we had the low there yesterday, which was only 4.5 handles above the prior low. That makes actually an acceptable double bottom, and that's broken up with the target in about the 55.95 area. Looking at the 5-minute chart, we had a lot of negative divergence building over yesterday afternoon. That's the sort of thing I'd be thinking of sort of resolving with an AM low this morning. Looking at NDX, NDX on the daily chart, we've come back and we've reached the daily middle band, and I'm expecting to see obviously that test, and I think we may well break above it, and I'll talk to you about why I think that is and what I think we might be doing if we do that. No current divergence on the hourly chart, no obvious reversal pattern here. This is being led by SPX, and NDX is kind of trailing on behind it. We've broken over this declining resistance on the 15-minute chart. On the 5-minute chart, again, we've got some fairly serious 5-minute negative divergence, which I think will be sorted out today, probably. Could this be a bear flag? Possibly. It's of a size where it still could be. I'm not really seeing an obvious one, but possibly. We will see. I'm leaning against it. I think there's a pretty good chance we're going to break it back up over the daily middle band. Looking at the daily chart on Dow, we retested the low on Dow, and arguably this is a positive divergence. These two lows here, but to be honest, I wouldn't normally call that a divergence. Really, this move up here on RSI wasn't actually was corresponded to the lower low, so it wasn't really a divergence at all in that sense. It didn't last into the end of the day. I'm thinking we're likely going higher, and we've killed off the chance of making a possible RSI 5 buy signal, but I wouldn't call that a buy signal. It's in terms of the hourly chart, no current divergence. We've seen a bit of a break up here. We have a potential IHS neckline here, and that does look like an IHS neckline here. So I'm watching 41,000, and I think we might see a hit of that and a reversal today to make an IHS right shoulder. Short term, 5-minute negative divergence, quite a lot of it. Broke up over the declining resistance and back tested it. I'm liking the upside here. And again, we are testing the daily middle band. It's which was the next level of resistance up and is the one we are now testing. Looking at IWM, we've got on the daily chart, we have a weak, very weak, but nonetheless, weak RSI 5 buy signal fixed. This was the lowest, and to a certain extent, that's actually why we've got the bicycles here. It's made lower lows, and made it in a better way than Dow managed to. So we've got an RSI 14 bicycle fixed on the alley as well. This has barely made it off the ground. We have made it. We had an okay looking falling wedge here, and that's broken up. I've got a possible IHS neckline just over 210, which I'll be watching. And we've got on 5-minute, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed already. But we broke over that declining resistance. No obvious reversal pattern yet. But if we get up to 210.26 area and pull back, we could easily get an IHS here. And I'm thinking we might. What am I thinking in terms of the bigger picture here? Well, You'll remember I was talking about on the bigger picture and a couple of times on the pre-market videos that I was saying that the setup would have been better had we gone back and retested this high here at 56.69, 67, retested the all-time high. That would have set up a really nice looking double top. We also, I was commenting that we'd hit decent support at the weekly middle band. I was also commenting that the daily middle band didn't look particularly promising for heading down this week, which we haven't. And because, of course, the bands are still narrowing, and they need to widen out a bit. So I think what we might be doing is actually improving the setup here. I was talking about this being unfinished business at a retest of the all-time high. I think we might be going back to fix that unfinished business. And on Dow, if we did that, then we would set up a really nice, if we retested the high here too, then we would set up a really nice nested double top. That would give us the other really nice topping pattern that I was looking for. In terms of NDX, could this retest the high? Maybe. Need to pick up some speed if it's going to do that. But maybe. But mainly, I'm looking at all-time high retests on SPX and Dow and wondering if we're going to see that and whether that will leave us a much, much improved overall topping setup, which may then play out. Okay, DX. DX has made a higher high, so I was right about that. It hasn't actually got significantly higher, and I'm still wondering about the test of the monthly pivot at 101.74, and the test of this declining resistance currently at about the 102.3 area. ZB, nice looking wedge, broken down, looks like it's topping out and going down. CL. CL made it down to the 65 area. We've seen a bit of a rally, and we've actually had a daily RSI 5 buy signal fix. We may see a decent rally here, but I'm still leaning strongly towards after that coming back down and testing the 2023 low at 63.57. So I think that really is the obvious target. I was talking about that when we broke down into the 71 area, and we've made it down to 65. We've got most of the way, and I'm thinking it's probably going to get the rest of the way. NG, not quite at the same stage. Really, the next area in the triangle that's forming there, which hasn't broken down, the next area would actually be a test of about the 2.9 area. Not seeing an obvious setup to get there yet, but we will see. But certainly it's not been declining with CL. GC. We have the flag breaking up, and this may mean that dollars finished to the upside. But this should set up a retest this high here at 25.70. It's pretty close, and it's probably going to help along SI breaking up from this double bottom. Sustained break up over that only gets us back actually up into the retest this high in the 30.7 area, but potentially then gets us higher after that. HG, this is back over the monthly pivot, and really quite liking the upside here. This is no longer looking as much like a bear flag, but still could be. Let's have a look at the. I was looking at the currencies this morning and thinking this looked like a potentially mature flag. This looks rather like a maturish flag too. I was wondering whether this was telling us that dollar was about to turn, and it might be. We got a potential level bottom here on USD/JPY, but if the dollar is going to head down, then it'll probably continue down in sympathy. But just worth noting that. USD CAD, this would be a flag which would then come down. Not a bad flag here, actually. Not bad at all. And this is another reason I was thinking dollar might turn earlier than I was thinking. Australian dollar, nice looking bull flag. NZ, decent looking bull flag. It's actually it was a bull flag channel. It broke down slightly. These aren't supposed to overthrow, but actually I do regularly see them overthrow, so I think I might be revising that. But the official rules say that they don't overthrow. KC, I've broken up from a bull flag, and I'm still expecting a retest of this high here in the 259.5 area. SB, I drew this in as a theoretical channel support trend line, and we hit it, and we reversed back up. This is a perfect flag channel. Obvious next target is the flag resistance in the 19.3 area. Break up over that, and we should see a retest this high in the 20 area. CC, nice looking rising support trend line here, actually. We could be looking at an ABC, or we could just hold that and go up. If we do, then there's a pretty good chance we'll retest this high here first at 82.50, and we may well go higher. CT is back over the weekly pivot, back over the monthly pivot. A 60-minute sell signal is fixed. Looks like it's going to retrace a bit. Let's see how far it gets. ZW, nice looking inverted head shoulders. Looks pretty much like it did yesterday, of course. We will see. Corn. I was saying this double top here might fail. It looks as though it is going to fail, and we've got a little double bottom here, which is now broken up. I'm leaning towards the grains all heading upwards from here, and I think this soy double top may well be failing too. Not as concrete on that, and this does look like a flag, but I've got a feeling all the grain's going to be heading up now. Lumber, we're still in the same inflection point, which is we've got a head and shoulders here facing down, and we've got a potential level bottom facing up. Got to make a decision. Lean hogs, live cattle, nice looking double bottom, may well play out. Lean hogs, we've got a possible flag forming. It could have a bit more downside within the flag, but the initial double top has made target. We could just head back up to the high from here. Okay, let's have a look at questions and have a quick review of ES. Okay, yesterday we saw the decline I was expecting, and then we saw the rise that I was not expecting. I was thinking we'd see full retest of the low, at least on SPX, and we didn't quite see that. But nonetheless, we've got a double bottom. It's broken up. We've got ES, NQ, and YM all testing their daily middle bands, and I'm thinking we may well break up from those. And if we are, then I'm thinking we may see retest of the all-time high on both ES and Dow particularly. I'm very doubtful about seeing much upside really on RTY, and NQ, I'm not looking for a retest of the high, but if it really picks up some speed, maybe. We will see. Just one last thing to note is we've got a really, really, really weak 60-minute sell signal trying to fix here on ES. I think this is just confirming that we're probably going to see an AM low today, and it could be a deep one. We could spend today retracing part of yesterday's rise. After that, I'm quite liking the upside, I've got to say. And I like that retest on SPX, which really does look like unfinished business. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm going to try very hard to get a couple of posts out today. One on crypto, one on equities, and we'll see how it goes. All right. Sorry, I've been a bit busy this week. I'm sending my sons back to university. I'm about to have an empty house again, apart from pets. So, we will see. All right, guys. Anyway, my pleasure as always. I'll catch you guys later, and it should be an interesting rest of the week, I think. All right. Cheers.